Hi, welcome to week 3 class. Today we will be talking about conversion tracking. Now, before going deep into conversion tracking, let us understand why tracking is necessary. For example, you are an e-commerce store. Now you are selling a lot of products in your store. People are coming to your store. They are visiting various products, and let's say they are buying some of the products. And let's say your company is doing good, and suddenly the CEO of the company started asking their marketing guys, "Hey, let me know what is the output of the marketing efforts that you are doing. If you are not doing good, then why should I keep you? I can easily fire you because without your help, I am able to generate this much of money." So, with these kind of problems, the scenario of conversion tracking emerged. But this is not only a particular scenario. There are multiple business scenarios, multiple business cases. For example, let's say you are selling a B2B SaaS product, and there what happened? You are driving a lot of traffic, either from your paid campaigns like Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. However, there are people who are working on the fields, and they are going from door to door, and they are asking people to take certain actions on a web browser or on a mobile app, and let's say people are doing that action. Now in that case, people who are on the field are doing conversions for you. You may not be driving conversions on the website directly, so measuring those conversions are also important. For example, you are a service station, car service station. You are providing various car services to uh, different cars, different brands. So there will be a certain set of audience who will inquire with you in the beginning, either by phone or on your web portal. Then they come to your store. Otherwise, people can search on Google Map, and then they can come to your store. Or it may so happen that they have discussed with their friend, and their friend have sent them a WhatsApp location, and through that WhatsApp location, they have come to your service store, service station. Okay, so in these scenarios, it is very important to measure where your traffic is coming from and how the traffic is giving you revenue. Is it by purchasing some of the products or services of yours, or it is a kind of after sales support? Now, since we have understood the problem, like you have a business, you are driving traffic, you are driving conversions. Now you need to map them out. Once you map them out, you will be able to know what is the output of your marketing efforts. To measure this, like these conversions, whatever traffic that is coming, we need certain tools that should be in place. So for that, one of the first tool is Google Analytics and other analytics platforms such as Microsoft Clarity, then Segment, and there are many more platforms like Adobe Analytics. The other part of it is tag management platforms. Either it is Telium tag management platform, or Google tag management platform, or Adobe tag management platform, Microsoft tag management platforms, etc. Now, moving further, we will understand here how these particular products are playing role in convergence and how they are helping us out. So first, let's go to Google Analytics, then we'll move to some other products and then Google Tag Manager. However, we will stick our discussion to Google Tag Manager here. Sorry, Google Analytics here. Now, when we move to Google Analytics, it is important to understand how Google is tracking its audiences and how different parameters are captured by Google, and how these informations are presented in the form of reports or dashboards. So since Google captures all this information, so what exactly is happening? Google understands that it is a flow. Let's say some customer have come to your website, have gone to different pages. After going to different pages, let's say the person comes to some sign up page or a newsletter subscription, or let's say registers only, or let's say just adds to the cart but didn't buy it, may buy it further, or the person is a registered user and somehow the person has seen your ad and have added have added the cart to product and didn't do anything on that. So these are different scenarios. I have placed one of the scenario here, and these each of these scenarios are called customer journeys. Now, why customer journey is important, and why should we measure it? By understanding customer journeys, we will be able to attribute our convergence to certain channels. Let me give you a very interesting scenario. When I was in Webinza and I was working with Deepan, and we have gone through is typical case of an insurance client. I will not name the brand, but it's a very big brand. So what happened? We were generating a lot of leads through affiliates, through Google, through LinkedIn, through Facebook, through Taboola, through Columbia Online, which is a Times network, programmatic network. So from these all channels, we used to drive a lot of traffic, and those traffic converted to leads and qualified leads, then sales. So here, what used to happen? We used to get X number of leads from all the platforms. Let's say from Google X1, Facebook X2, Taboola X3, let's say affiliates X4. In affiliates also, we have partnered with 10 to 12 set of affiliates, more than that actually, but 10 to 12 were our regular affiliates. So uh, let's name them X5, X6, X7, etc. Now, we used to go to Google Analytics and measure the total number of leads that I am able to see there. But I also used to see the same number from the client's dashboard. Same number in the sense they used to tell me, hey, last month, May 2020, we have got Y number of leads. Now, when I used to map them, I used to find discrepancies. And the discrepancies were not in 2%, 3%. It used to be in 15 to 20%. Then me and Deepan, we discussed a lot why these kind of scenarios are arising. We checked with the sales team, we checked with the insurance client, even we have seen their dashboards. We see whatever numbers are quoted by the client, the number is the same. However, our Google Analytics reporting tells us a different number. It was astonishing. So that's why what we have done, we have gone to the user path report. So there we figured out the problem. So some person who is coming for a conversion is not actually coming from Google only. They are interacting with different platforms. Now, when they interact with different platforms, it is important from a performance marketer's perspective to understand what are the best paths or best customer journeys that are giving you best conversions, so that you can focus on building a very good content mapping, content journey. You can build a lot of creatives in that direction. You can build a lot of ad copies which will be suitable for that particular audience stream. Hence, it is very important to understand customer journeys. So why I'm telling journeys? Because there will be thousands of journeys which you will see in your Google Analytics dashboard. So identifying the best performing journeys can give you best results. If you focus only on those journeys, I will tell you later like how to identify the best converting journeys, best customer journeys. What are the ways to segregate them? Once you get to know that, you can focus all your marketing efforts on those parts only, because that will drive you the maximum revenue for an optimum amount of spend. So now come to this particular customer journey slide. Let's understand what exactly is happening here. Let's say user is coming from different sources, like the person is coming from either search, social media, others means it could be referrals, it could be your email. There are sales representatives who send multiple emails to their visitors every day. So they just go through that, and sometimes they click on those links, and they are one of the other segments. Then there is something called, let's say you have partnered with some of the affiliates, or let's say you have got certain vendors, and those vendors are giving you leads. They are also a source for you. So there are multiple sources. That's why I have kept them in others bucket. However, it will be many. I won't be able to fit them in this particular slide. So how? So that's another aspect. However, once we get these customers from different sources, they engage with our website or they engage with our mobile application. Once they engage, one of the actions can be sign up, sign in, registration. But there are other actions, let's say, uh, you know, booking some product, or let's say coming for a site visit. In case of a real estate client, then it may so happen that you are coming for an event, or you are going for some sort of movie and you are booking a ticket for that movie. So these actions are different, so we call it as goals in Google Analytics. And these goals are also events. So all goals are events, but not all events are goals. Okay. Now moving to the next slide. This is very interesting, guys. The market is changing. You might have heard about FLoC cookies. So I will give you some idea about those information. Now coming to cookies. So what exactly happens? So whenever a customer comes to your website, Google, Chrome, or any of the browser puts a cookie for that. Okay, cookie is a random number, and it is associated with a certain browser session. Okay. Now, first I will talk about cookies, then I will move to FLoC, because these two things are in use in the market. So maybe after 2022, it will be irrelevant for you, but for the time being, it is important. So here what is happening, let's say one customer is coming, we call it as a user. You can see here. Now the user can come to your browser either in the form of a device called tablet or desktop or mobile. The moment the customer lands on your product or lands on your website, the cookie generates a lot of things. The first thing it generates is a user ID and a session ID. If you go to Google Analytics, I will show all those information. So don't get worried at all. And even if you don't remember this, it's okay. No need to remember it. No one will ask you in the exam. This is just for an understanding purpose how Google is tracking information. Okay, so once it understood your user ID, it creates an attribute called user underscore sudo underscore ID, and at the same time it creates one more ID called session ID. Now, once these two things are created, simultaneously a set of parameters are generated, and these parameters are associated with this. These parameters are called the default parameters. The moment a user comes, these four things generate at that instant itself. One is the session start, then first visit, page view, screen view, user engagement. Once these parameters are captured, it tries to identify extra set of information. Now, what are the extra set of information? Page location, language, page referrer, page title, screen underscore resolution. So here, these five parameters can be captured, it can't be captured also. For example, if it is not able to capture the setted audience or setted language in your browser, then it will take the by default browser. Okay, now once this particular secondary data is considered, Google now tries to capture rest of the data. So these are called the tertiary data. Okay, so these data are age, gender, interest, language, screen resolution, location, OS version, device model. So for the tertiary data, Google doesn't have all the information of all the users. So sometimes you go to Google Chrome incognito mode, right? Now in incognito mode, Google is not able to identify, but Google can identify these parameters, these default parameters. And hence you can see sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, the total number of these tertiary properties won't match with your actual user ID numbers or session start numbers. There will be a small difference. Okay, now let's move to the next one. This is very important. Once Google gets all these data, what exactly it does, it captures them, it creates different structures. So if you log into Google Analytics, you will see there different segments. Let me showcase you that. Let's go to Google Analytics. Now, guys, if you don't have Google Analytics right now, I will give you a task. However, for the time being, what you can use the Google's demo account. You can go to Google search and search for Google Analytics demo account. Okay. Now, when you do that, you can see here a support page will come up, and in that support page you will get a link to your demo account. So this is where you get the link to your Google Analytics account. But before that, please log into your Google Chrome and open that. That will give you a good experience. Otherwise, in the mid it will ask you to log in. Okay, now you have Google Analytics dashboard in front of you. Now what I am doing here, I will take you through Google Analytics 4, which is the recent one. Okay. Now, I have said you earlier that each of the data is converted in the form of a displayable report. So these displayable formats are mentioned here. One is called acquisition, second is engagement, third is monetization, fourth is retention, then your users, Demographic Technology Convergence Event and Analysis Hub. Okay, so before explaining you in detail, I just wanted to tell you that these are some of the things which I am going to explain you further. Yeah. So what exactly Google does? Google converts them in the form of a report. After this, I have mentioned one other parameter called page referer. Page referer is something in which the source and medium of the visitor is recorded. Okay, so here what happens, this is one of the important parameter. You can see this information in your acquisition report. Okay, now here comes something interesting called MI float. So till here I have discussed about cookies, the role of cookies. The moment you come to a website, you get assigned a cookie. The moment you get a cookie, one sudo user ID is created, session ID is created, then primary attributes are generated. Once primary attributes are generated, it will be able to capture some of the secondary attributes. After secondary attributes, if possible, Google will consider third set of attributes. We call it as tertiary attributes. Once all these informations are captured, this information is converted to a report format, and that report format is seen by you. Now coming to the next part, which is called FLoC ID. So what happens? You might have heard, cookies is going away and something new is coming up. So that is something called FLoC ID. So in FLoC ID, what happens and how it works? Let's understand that. So FLoCs runs in your browser. So what happens? The FLoCs will capture your browsing history from the past week, and it will try to assign that to a certain group of similar people around the world. Now, each group receives a level called FLoC ID, and this FLoC ID is going to capture all the relevant informations about you. So, what happens? A certain group will have certain set of attributes in the sense, let me tell you what exactly are these attributes are. So let's say you are visiting to let's say you are a travel buff and you love to visit different places, but before visiting to different places, what exactly you do, you look for different things that are important in that place. For example, you look for a restaurant in that particular place, you look for a what you can say, good hotel. Then you'd love to see what kind of taxi services are available there, what kind of food can you consume there, and what are the different adventurous sports that are present nearby that location. What are the old, you can say, civilizations. For example, some tribal areas will be there, you would be interested in them. Or so there are many things. So before going to that particular location, you do a lot of research on this. Now there are two sets of audiences: one who regularly go, second who go there often. Okay, like maybe once in a month or once in 2 months, and somehow you came across some ad, then you just go and browse them. So these are some of the behaviors, and these behaviors are captured in your FLoC ID. So what exactly is happening here? So I told you about only one aspect, which is travel, but Google tracks, how you are interested in entertainment. You might be interested for certain languages of content, maybe Bengali or Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Gujarati, etc. Gujarati is okay. Then this is called entertainment. Then you might be interested in sports. You might be interested in technology. You might be interested in news, politics. So once you consume these content, those content IDs or these history is captured by these FLoC IDs. Then FLoC understood that hey, this particular audience segment, which is called A, is interested in these kind of activities. Okay, so, which you can see in Google Analytics also in the audience behavior. Now, one FLoC gets these set of information. We call it something called browser fingerprinting, and the browser will be able to know to which FLoC ID you belong to, and accordingly, ads will start getting displayed to you. So that's how trackers get activated on your website and it goes on tracking you. However, if you clear your browser or cookies, then for some time your past week's data will get cleared. However, FLoC ID knows that you have visited these kind of websites, so it knows what exactly your audience behavior is. But FLoC ID and its properties cannot be passed to third-party cookies. In third-party cookies, what happens? Whatever information one cookie has, it is shared by all other third-party cookies. That's why they are able to target you. But in FLoC, what happens? This particular problem is being prevented by Google, and that's how this privacy concern is been taken up to some extent. Now, this is very important. If you'd like to know whether you are assigned a FLoC ID or not by using this particular platform, you go there, you just look for what are the tracking mechanisms. It will give you what are the trackings that are done. If you can see cookies which are enabled, it means your FLoC ID is not enabled. However, let me tell you, only 0.5% of all the browsers have been activated FLoC IDs. So there could be a possible reason or there could be a possibility that your FLoC ID is not being tracked. So now comes campaign tracking. So see, now we have understood how a customer comes to your website, how those customers are being tracked by Google. Then once they are tracked, they are provided a FLoC ID, and that's how the flow goes on. Now coming to the next segment, which is called campaign tracking. In campaign tracking, what happens? So in campaign tracking, we identify what are the campaigns that are driving conversions. Okay, for example, you are running some sort of organic campaign, uh, organic social media campaign for some of the event. Let's say Diwali is coming, and you have created certain set of content for your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn pages, and you have posted them. But and you wanted to know what exactly is the conversion and which particular post is driving you best conversion. You can do that through campaign tracking. For example, let's say you are running Facebook ads, you are driving a lot of traffic to your website, and suddenly what happens, you have used almost 10 to 20 different creatives, and you want to know which creative has done well. So, and which creative is driving you good quality of traffic on your website. It may so happen you are getting a lot of clicks for a certain creative on Facebook. However, that particular traffic is not converting enough, and you tell, hey, my Facebook ads are not working. Okay, so you will see these kind of scenarios. Now, in order to tackle those scenarios, it is important to understand. It is important to follow, or it is important to implement campaign tracking mechanism for all the URLs that you are using for your performance marketing campaigns or any campaigns, in fact. Okay, I can give you a very good example of Accenture, which Deepan has told you on in the workshop. So they are one of the best. So if you go to their LinkedIn campaigns or if you go to their Facebook page, even if you click on some of the best converting images or best converting post, you will find UTM-SRC, all tracking parameters, at least 3 to 4 tracking parameters you will get there. So that's how they track, hey, out of X number of audience, 20 visitors have come from our organic traffic, and organic traffic is driving these many conversions. That's how they track. From Facebook organic, this is the number of traffic they have received. From LinkedIn organic, they got this many traffic. From LinkedIn paid, they have got X number of leads or subscriptions. So that's how they do this entire attribution funnel design. Okay, now going to the next, what are the basic parameters? You can capture more than this. However, these 5 parameters are important. One is source, second is medium, third is campaign, fourth is content, five is term. Now, why these things are important? Because this is uh, created by considering that your audiences come either from search, from display, or from social. So some of these parameters might not be relevant for social. Some of them might not be relevant for search. So, but these 5 parameters, comprise of the strongest points through which you will be able to capture them. Now, so what we will do, we will go to campaign URL builder, and I will tell you how to build a campaign URL. Okay. Now let me remove this. So what you can do, how to know this? So there is something called, you go to Google, search for campaign builder. You will get something called GA Dev Tools campaign URL builder. Once you click on that, a particular URL, a particular web page will be, just a minute. Yeah, you will land on this particular web page. Let me close this. So here what happens, let's say you want to build a Facebook organic post link. What you can do, let's say this is the URL, and what you need to do, you can put it as Facebook. Okay. Campaign medium can be a banner, or you can put post, that is also fine. Then coming campaign name. So what you can do, let's say for Diwali you have created 5 or 7 posts. Okay, so you can put there Diwali campaign. Then come to campaign term. So for each of your posts, there will be a theme like friendship, or ignorance, light. So there could be different themes. You will be the perfect guide to decide that. Let's say I will put here light as the theme. Then there will be a certain content inside light. Also there could be family, friends, okay, then society, country. The content can revolve around anything. Maybe we can put ignorance. This is something you will know. Or what you can do also, you can put here as post 1, post 2, etc. Okay, so that's how you can easily track it. Now here what will happen, when you go below here, you will get the URL. You just need to copy this, paste it here. You will land in that particular, sorry, yeah. Now you have landed on this particular page. So you can see here the UTM source in the URL, it is Facebook. Then here it is there. Then the UTM medium is Facebook post. This is Diwali content, and this is how you are tracking them. Now here there is an important thing. You can see here. There is something called Diwali percentage 20 campaign. Okay. Now, why this is happening? If you leave a space between two terminologies, it will replace that space by percentile 20. You can see here. Okay. So it is important for you to think that you don't leave any empty spaces, so you can fill the gap by putting an underscore, okay, or any dash, okay, or you may put a dash, that also works, okay. Similarly, you can see here in post 1. So what you can do, you can remove this space, and ultimately it will remove that percentile 20 thing. Okay. And you can use it. If you want to use the shortened link, it will take you to a bit.ly URL, and you can convert there also. Okay. Now what happens once you get these, once you get this campaign URL, you can use this in that particular post. Okay. Now, let's say, let's move to this campaign tracking. So we have covered this. Okay, let me give you another example for search. So what you can do, you can write here. Let's say you are running search ads. So what you can do, you can put there as Google campaign source. Then campaign medium is CPC because cost per click. Then there will be a campaign name. For example, you are using a brand campaign. Okay. Now in brand campaign, there could be specific themes. For example, let's say you are Amazon. Okay. And you are selling in Amazon, a lot of products have been sold. So what happens that, let's say you want to buy a shoe. So you will go there, and you go to Google and search for best shoes in Amazon. Okay. So there, what you do, you type the brand name Amazon and the product name. So similarly, what you can do in brand also, there are different types of campaigns. One could be your pure play brand, where people look for exactly the brand name, Amazon or Flipkart, etc. Then there is something called brand plus product, where you look for, hey, Amazon best shoes, Amazon best TVs, uh, MITV Amazon, etc. Okay, that is product plus brand. Then there is something called product plus service. How to log into Amazon Prime, okay, how to sign up for Amazon Prime, what are Prime membership fees. So in let's say you want to spend money for these kind of keywords, which are a bit of intent plus plus information related. So that also comes into the third category, called brand plus intent plus uh, interest, or brand plus intent plus services, brand plus intent plus products. So we kept them in this particular category. So once you do that, you come to know uh, in which particular brand category the conversion is. So for campaign term, what we do, let's say it's a brand plus product. Then the theme of the campaign is, let's say, shoes. Okay. Now here, this is how the URL is. Got it? Got it? So this is how you can go on building multiple URLs. This is completely free, so you can use it, and you should use it. So for each of these URLs, you start putting different URLs. So I know most of the performance marketers who are in the team or who are from the agencies, they are aware of this. However, people who don't know this, you start using this, or whoever who are who doesn't know about it, you can start using it even for your organic campaigns, which will help you structure results in your Google Analytics. This will help you in your long term uh, in your long term measurement activities. Okay. Now let's say, okay, Now, here, one important note. I have already explained you that you should avoid using spaces in campaign names. Then there is something called case sensitive. So this particular campaign building tools is completely case sensitive. If you change just capital P by small p, or if you do any spelling mistake while building the URL, it will go into that, and it won't be tracked. You will see different campaigns in your Google Analytics. Okay. Now, this is the particular URL I have used here. Okay. So, so till here, I am covering, Google Campaign Builder. Now, from here onwards, we will move ahead and we will start talking about Google Analytics reports and discuss them in detail.